Yo, welcome to another edition of Everything OG. I'm your host, B Double, the man with the plan, and this is my man right here.
Yo, it's your boy Deviant the Digger, aka Mr. Everything OG.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And today we're back with another edition. Today's show, we're going to talk about gospel music.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
you can see in the background, we have a few examples of some good gospel music for you today.
This is going to be a little bit of the Stuntsville gospel style for y'all. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. So, you know, just gospel music, period, has got a lot of records that are very sought after.
Yeah.
But most of the records, you know, are rare regardless because just they didn't press that many copies of them no matter what label was on, but most of them came from the church itself.
And they're regional.
You know what I'm saying? It's very regional. So a lot of gospel records are rare anyway. But, you know, this is going to be our top 5 favorite gospel records / Gospel Grails. Real quick, Mr. B-Dub, tell me, you know, why do you like gospel music so much? You know, what is it?
I dig gospel music because the musicianship, man. The chord changes. The positive message, the feeling you get when you listen to it. It's uplifting.
Right.
You know, it's called inspirational music, spiritual music. One thing about gospel music is there's a lot of different styles to it. You know, there's the bluesy style that, you know, you see, you know, that's on like the later Malaco, the later 80s.
That Malaco sound.
You know, you have Savoy, which is, they have a disco sound from like 77 to 82. They're good for, you know, that. Some of the, you know, Creed and Nashville, they have a more down south bluesy sound, upbeat from like the 72 to 75, 76.
Right.
And these are things that, you know, you learn trial and error. I learned them through trial and error from buying certain ones and certain labels and seeing, okay, these from this era sound like this, while these from that era sound like that. So I say the best way to get into gospel music, just jump head on. You know, find some, test them out, bring your portable with you, listen to them, see if they move you, and just, you know.
Don't leave the house with the portable.
Yeah. You know, R&B and soul have their beginnings in gospel music. You know, if you ever saw the movie Ray, you saw how he would take gospel songs and switch the lyrics and make them secular. And a lot of, you know, songs were translated from the church into R&B. But the good thing is like some of the modern gospel would take modern R&B songs and flip them and do church versions of them. You know, gospel is good for harmonies.
Great for
you know,
harmonies.
And a lot of great singers came out of the church.
Whitney
Houston, Al Green, Donny Hathaway, Marvin Gaye. All these people sang in the church. Sam Cooke started in gospel. You know, Johnny Taylor. I didn't know that until recently. I
didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lou Rawls.
Wow.
Lou Rawls was gospel.
That's
they all
crazy.
came in the same church.
I actually grew up in the church.
Oh, okay.
And the choir was the highlight.
Yeah.
of the whole thing. I mean, when I was a kid, my uncle actually was the director of the choir. And he wrote a lot of the music for the choir. And they actually ended up cutting a record.
Oh, wow.
So I grew up with gospel records because the church was making records.
Yeah, you got any?
No, I mean, I got a couple. Yeah, I got a couple. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Uncle Mike. But anyway, so that was, you know, like you say, gospel music, very uplifting. The musicianship, crazy. And, yo, just, we had to pay homage to gospel music. The Everything OG way. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? Deviant the Digger, B-Dub, we're going to get into it right now. Everything OG. Your first gospel record.
No, you first.
Me first this time?
You first.
I
introed you go first.
I go first this time. It's all good. This record I'm going to start first with is, right here. This right here. You can see it? This is Gospel Soul Revolution. And, man, this record is incredible. This record is incredible. And, what I like about this record is just that, the musicianship on this record really goes into like a lot of layers, and the key cuts on here is Pray Brother Pray and Hallelujah, All Right, Amen. And how I found out about this record actually was in the 90s. A fellow DJ / beat digger named Mr. Supreme. He used to have he was one of the people that spearheaded a breakbeat series called Status Breaks. And if you got those records that he came out with, the Status Breaks, those are rare too. But anyway, he was the one that came out with that Status Break series, had Hallelujah Amen on there. And it had a fat drum break in the middle of the record. And it was really tight. And I was like, what is that? And he actually, said it was Gus Poole. And I was like, Gus Poole, what is that? You know what I'm saying? So I had to go do a little bit of research. This is the 90s, so,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a little hard to do research as like it is now.
I remember.
But I finally, got some information on the record, and I was like, I got to get that Gus Poole. So I wasn't seeing it at first. And when the first time I saw it, actually, saw it at a local record shop in my hometown. Shout out to LBC. And the place is called Bagatelle Records, and he had one, and he wanted like a lot of money for it back then.
Yeah.
I think I might have found it like 99 or 2000 or something like that, and he wanted like, I think he had like maybe $75 on it or something like that back then.
That's what it goes for about now too.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, yo, Steve from Bagatelle, that's the owner. I was like, Steve, what's up with that? Why so much for the Gus Poole? You know what I'm saying? But I didn't have the money at the time. And, I was like, I meant to let this one go. And it's actually had it on the wall. It stayed on this wall for a hot second. But then I went back one day and it was gone.
That's the story of
it was gone.
When it happens. When you find the money, it's never there. Somebody else done got you before. So
I said, all right, I have to get it some other day, hopefully. So actually, a few years after that, this cat by the name of That's One from a group called People Under the Stairs, he had a whole box of sealed ones. And rumor is he actually got it from Gus Poole's family. I don't know if that's true, but I never asked us. But all I know is he actually let me get one and let my boy Einstein get a couple. Shout out to Einstein. And from then I was like, cool, I got my Gus Poole sealed. You know what I mean? And I was happy, And the thing about having sealed records is you debate whether you want to open it or you want to keep it closed. So I opted to keep it sealed.
I got boxes of sealed records, man.
And I still got the sealed Gus Poole. So I said, okay, I got the Gus Poole. It's sealed. I got it. But I can't play the break. I just have to just keep playing my Status Breaks if I ever want to just let somebody hear the break. And then a year or two after that, I was just digging at some random thrift store. And then, bam. For $1. Bam. And I was like, ooh, I got my second copy. I'm good. So, yeah, this is my first top 5 Gospel Grail right here. Soul Revolution, Gus Poole. Good record, yo.
My top one to start off with is Charles May and Annette Mae Thomas. Songs my father used to sing.
Okay.
And I got put onto this record. It's on the Gospel Truth label, which is Stax's gospel label. And Stax is funky. So the gospel label they sponsor has to be funky too. So I heard a song, Please Have Mercy on Me, on a mixtape. And I was like, what is that? It's so soulful. It's mellow. And I was like, yo, I had to get that. I might have to touch that and sample it. So I tracked it down. And this copy I got on eBay. I found this on eBay.
Hey, huh?
Yeah.
No feel fine?
No, I have a feel fine. I paid $1 for the feel fine, but it was just the record. But this one, my first copy, I got off of eBay. But every song here is a good song. It's very good musicianship on this one.
Okay.
So this is the only album they did too. Charles May went on to do other gospel albums and produce other gospel groups on Savoy. And I think, matter of fact, his sister was the secretary or accountant for James Cleveland.
What?
Yeah. I read
wow.
that. She handled his affairs.
Wow. It's a little history right there, huh?
Yeah.
Word up. Okay. All right. Moving right along. This is my second pick right here. As we keep rocking and rolling, I know you know this one.
Oh, yeah.
Your legendary record, y'all. It's called this right here. Bam. You know what I'm saying? Rodanna Preston, The Old Rugged Cross. And this is the... Woo, yeah, if y'all don't have this record, y'all need to get aboard. Am I right, though, Mr. B-Dub?
Yes, sir.
And the key cuts on here is I Must Be Ready. which is a nice cut, real funky. And then other key cut on here is Get Right. Get Right is real dope.
Old Rugged Cross too.
Old Rugged Cross that was nice too.
Yeah.
But
that's why I bought the record.
That's a good cut too. My cut is Get Ready. Get Right. Excuse me. Get Right is a banger. Got them drums in there too.
Yeah.
Bang out. And this is definitely a must-have if you're collecting gospel records. And if you're a real digger, you know what I'm saying, you cannot just, get one. You know what I mean? You got to get two. You know what I'm saying? You got to, you know what I mean? You got to rock two of them. You know what I mean? And if you're really going to dig out, you know what I mean, and be grailed up and be a true ill digger with the gospel records, you got to get the 45, you know what I mean, of Get Ready. And I Must Be Ready. You know what I mean? And, just a great record. And there's no more to say about it.
My next record, this one here.
What's this about? Let me know what this is about.
Spirit of Love.
Woo!
Produced by Calvin Bridges. Power of Your Love.
Mm-hmm.
And like he says, if you really want to be grailed up, 2 copies.
Starting on him. Woo! He's in the field, yo. He's in the field.
If you can, the good thing about gospel, sometimes you can find some heavyweight pieces for cheap, and then sometimes you're gonna find some you're gonna have to pay. But that's the beauty about any records, depending where you find it, where they're selling it, whether it's cheap or expensive. But on here, it's a good modern soul feel type of album. Some funky bass lines, chord progressions. Definitely a lot of sample material if you're producing and looking for something different to grab from. Spirit of Love, produced by Calvin Bridges.
My next pick in the top 5 Gospel Grails is woo! It's right here, y'all. I'm gonna see it. Metropolitan Baptist Tabernacle, and this record right here is amazing. And the truth is, there's not a lot of information about this record. I looked some stuff up, and I just could not find it.
Like my man say, ungoogleable gospel.
Yeah, it was ungoogleable. I could not find any information about it. Yo, this album is amazing. It's got some really funky gospel cuts, but it's got some really smooth cuts that have some nice Fender rolls on it, and then the drums come in. With the gospel Holy Ghost breaks. You know what I mean?
What year did it come out? Do you know? That's one thing about gospel records. A lot of them don't say the release year.
Yeah, they don't say the release year. I don't know.
It could, you guess it could be a 70
it's definitely
or something by the way they're dressed on it.
But
you still see them. You see something it doesn't say the year, and it makes it hard with trying to find more information on certain things.
Well, I mean, this is a one I definitely recommend to all my Everything OG subscribers out there. And I mean, you have to get this record. It's amazing. The like you say, to use your word again, the musicianship. The musicianship on this record is incredible.
Yeah.
And especially when they drop the Fender Rose in there, and then they have builds up where it starts off smooth, and then it gets real up tempo, and then it comes back down smooth again. And this is definitely one of the best albums that I've heard in my gospel collection. And like I said, I tried to do some research on it. It didn't happen. Google laughed in my face. What's your next pick? B-Dub.
The Crowns of Glory. Wanna Be Grand.
Man.
Let's see if we get a good lighting.
Dope record.
The standout cut on this one is Ain't No Sunshine.
That version.
Man.
That version is amazing.
The Crowns of Glory, Wanna Be Grand. It's on ABC Peacock. And once you get into gospel music, you'll see ABC Peacock, Songbird, and Bulu are all good labels for gospel music. So my rule of thumb, if I see it on Peacock, instant grab. If it's anything from the years 69 to 79, I'm grabbing them off GP.
And OG fellow diggers out there, this one right here that my boy B-Dub, a.k.a. Bill and Block has, is the OG first pressing and ABC Peacock. But
it's a white label promo.
Oh, my God. but hold on, though. The diggers, don't be scared to get that second pressing that's on MCA Records.
Yes.
That came out later,
they
years
took
later.
over, and they reissued a lot of the early Peacock and Songbird. Because I have a MCA reissue of one of my honorable mentions I'll bring up a little bit later.
Okay. Okay, that was a good pick, man.
Oh yeah.
Next pick, Gospel Grail. Here we go. Boom. Peace Will Come. Peace Will Come. This is by the Washington High School band, and it's on Dark Brown Records. Once again, is a cover. Very sought after piece. And at first, I didn't know anything about it. Mm-hmm. I must admit. And I was at a spot one day, and this local one of our local dealers was selling it at his little table. And I was like, he had it in his little, his little box or whatever. And I was like, what's this? And he was like, yeah, man, that's a great gospel / jazz soul record, funky too. And he had it for a lot of money. And I was like, well, what is this? And why is it so much money? And he was like, I'm telling you, it was cool, man. But I was like, oh man, you know what? I haven't heard this. It looks ill. I mean, look how, you know what I'm saying? Got the people on the cover.
Yeah.
All black people looking with afros. So I was like, it looks dope, but I don't know anything about it. I mean, he's like, I'm telling you, man, this is off the hook. Very sought after. I said, well, look, man, I'm going to take a chance, dude, but I can't pay that much. So he ended up giving it to me a really, really good price.
That's a good price.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna leave that to for private.
How much, man?
So I'm gonna leave that private in terms
of
how
much I paid.
I'm gonna leave that private on this one, but I'll say this though, I talked him down a little bit, and he gave me a really decent price because it was not in
well, how much?
Near mint condition.
Was it in the hundreds you paid?
No, I didn't pay the hundreds.
50?
You know what I'm saying? I paid a little under 50.
Okay, was that hard to say?
You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, I won't blow up his spot.
You didn't even say his name, so what does it matter?
He knows who he is, though. I definitely recommend it. Peace Will Come, one more time. Please pick this up if you ever run into this record. It's worth it. The key cuts on here real quick is Blue Peach. Great record. California Dreamin', which is their version of that song. And they have another cut in there called The Declaration, which is really nice. Blue Peach, though, is the standout. And please pick it up. Move right along.
My next one is continuing on the Peacock label. And it's Andrea Vereen and the St. Marks.
Ooh.
Oh, say, can you see? It's funky. It's from 1974. And this is the OG, but I also have one that's on the MCA reissue, as I was saying.
Right.
MCA reissued some of the early Peacock gospel releases. It's young sounding. It's not the old standard gospel. It's like they took funk and R&B and really gospeled it out. Right. The voices are full of youthful exuberance, happiness. It's like they're jamming, like they're having a party, like a what do you call it, revival. It sounds like they're at a revival. And they're just having a good time, praising their faith.
You know what I mean? That's a good. I mean, it looks. I don't know anything about this record, but this looks dope. I can't lie. This looks ill.
And don't be fooled. Sometimes you'll see a dope gospel cover, and it'll be whack. I've gotten burned a few times, and they was like, "Yo, the suits is ill, the afros is,
But this one though matched up.
Yeah, it matched up. It exceeded it. This definitely.
Before I even get to my last one, I'm gonna do an honorable mention real quick. This record right here is I got actually recently, not too long ago. I went a little Palm Springs digging trip, and I actually found this record right here. Yeah, bam, and this is amazing. It's the Highland Park Community Choir, and this record right here, y'all, is just once again is top notch gospel. It's got a twist of like funk, soul, and just straight up traditional gospel, and it's amazing. And the key cuts on here is Last Days, which is really funky, and also you got Clean Me Up, Lord, nice little smooth cut. And yes, this record right here, I was very surprised. Well, it looks good.
Yeah,
just from the cover, like you said, you know what I mean. Just from the cover alone, I was like, oh, it's got to be hot, but I don't know. I don't know anything about it. It's another record I tried to Google up, and
ungoogleable.
You know what I mean? I didn't get too much information. I got a little bit, but not too much. And yeah, I mean, it's a dope record, you guys. Please check it out if you ever see this record in the field or even on the Bay. Scoop it up. or Discogs, whatever the situation is, scoop it up. It's worth the money. I don't know how much it's gonna cost you, but
what'd you pay?
I paid like $3. But but I mean, I didn't know anything about it though. Before I paid $3. And once again, Highland Park Community Choir album's called "God Is Gonna Straighten It Out." You know what I mean? And we're living in the last days is the caption in parentheses on there. But God is gonna straighten it out. Highland Park Community Choir, please pick it up.
I want to talk about my favorite gospel group, the Clark Sisters.
Oh wow.
This one here is a very hard to find and get one. This is the second one. The first one is the one that I want. Once I get that one, I'll have my discography of the Clark Sisters complete. But this will tide me over until I get it. It's a few times I've had it in my grasp almost, but haven't got it. But when I get it, you'll know.
You can let everybody know.
Yeah. This one came after, and compared to the first one, I think this one might be more rare than the first one. You don't see this one as often as the first one. This one, Maddie Moss is singing with the girls, and it's not as polished as their later LPs. They're still getting their formula down, which leads me to
what's the next one?
Clark Sisters.
Oh yeah, which one's that one?
The dynamic ones with Maddie Moss Clark.
Wow.
And
wow.
2 copies.
2 copies. Dubs.
And I didn't have to pay the rate prices for these either. I also did get them before the Jay-Z hype because if you haven't known, on Jay-Z's recent song 444.
Well, not the album 444.
Yeah, the album 444.
The song's called Family Feud.
The producer known as No.id sampled the Hey Ya for Family Feud. And instantly after that, the prices for this regular $6 to $14 album went up to $300, $400 overnight.
Shot up out of nowhere.
I've never seen it. I mean, Clark Sister records are rare, but for it to jump from a $6 to $14 record to $200 to $300, oh, that's hype. And I refuse to take place in that.
Yeah, real talk.
And I mean, now it's kind of come down considerably. You'll see it if you look on Discogs or eBay. You'll see it more reasonably.
Yeah,
from 50 to 70.
Yeah, last record show I saw one for like 50.
Which is better. It's still not as good, but you can live with that. Came in the same circuit.
Well, what's crazy is you don't just got these 2 Clark Sisters albums in your hand. You got another Clark Sisters album in your hand.
And this brings me to my honorable mention. Clark Sisters, You Brought the Sunshine.
Woo!
We tripping out.
You got doubles, you got
triples. We tripping out. That's just the ones I pulled. I have more.
Okay, wow.
This is an album I grab whenever I see it, just because. The main cut on here, the favorite, the one that really got the notoriety, is You Brought the Sunshine.
Yes.
Which, as I spoke earlier, how gospel artists, how R&B would cover gospel songs in the beginning days.
Right.
This one, You Brought the Sunshine, to me is their interpolation or cover of Stevie Wonder, Master Blaster. If you listen to the bass line when it comes on, there's a lot of similarities.
I didn't know that.
I don't know if it's in the same key.
I do know.
I hear it.
Yeah, I can hear you though. Cause, I mean, it was influenced by a reggae beat.
Yeah,
and Master Blaster.
This came out in '81, and I believe that's when Hotter Than July came out.
Right. And this is the Clark Sisters' biggest hit too.
Yeah.
I mean, at least in the secular world.
I don't know about hits or anything because I didn't follow the charts back then. But I do remember this playing on Sunday.
Yeah, that was a big record.
On the radio. And,
the regular radio.
Yeah. Well, I remember on Sunday, hearing it on Sundays, on the radio. Maybe throughout the week, But I never knew the name of the people. I just knew the song. And even years later, when I figured out it was the Clark Sisters, I went to go find it and buy.
Very big hit.
I was like, oh, the Clark Sisters. Okay. Yeah. And then I bought it. It brought back memories from my childhood.
Yeah, actually, it was a very big hit all around in the secular world and the gospel world. And in the secular world, it's been said that Frankie Crocker, who was like one of the biggest DJs of all time back in the days, he actually world premiere of this song on his show. He basically he wrote the song.
That's dope.
In the secular world and shot the and made it go big.
That's dope.
You know, and so from New York to Florida to LA, it just spread like wildfire, and they ended up getting a Grammy nomination and everything for that. So
they did have an episode of Unsung.
Yeah.
So if you ever get a chance to check it out and learn more, please do that.
Dope. Well, my last pick for my top 5 Gospel Grails. And it's been tough, but I think this was the one that had to do it for me, y'all. Spirit, put your hands together. And this right here is a very sought after piece. You don't hardly ever see this record. It does not pop up. And it's really funky. It got some funky cuts on here. It has like some real smooth cuts, soulful cuts.
Is it modern soul or?
No, it is more funky than modern soul. It's just like, even though it's from '79, it's just more
like disco funky.
No, it's like
It's like Parliament funky.
It's similar to Parliament funky.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's really dope. Put your hands together. That's the cut I like a lot. And then also, it's got a really, really fat drum break on here, y'all. So
show the back. They almost look like an R&B group.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. It's also got a really fat drum break on this record too. And you got a couple smooth cuts in here, some smooth soulful cuts. And I mean, you definitely could say it. It's that era right before like the modern soul era came into effect.
Okay.
And it's really dope. Never seen it before since when I bought it. This record right here, scoop it up. No doubt if you ever see it. So, another Gospel Grail for y'all. Spirit, put your hands together. Hey, I recommend it.
Well, that concludes our episode on gospel, and hopefully we enlightened you and inspired you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you got a case of the Spirit, and you're going to go out, dig, and
praise the Lord.
See what you can find. This has been, we thank you again for joining us, and please leave a comment and subscribe. And you can find us on Instagram. And I'm the B Double.
And this is Deviant the Digger, a.k.a. Mr. Everything OG. Peace.
Peace. Go. The Supreme Jubilees. It'll all be over. Unfortunately, it's just the cover. I found this at the swap meet, and it was the cover only. The bad thing is, I think the week before I had found the actual record, but it was so beat up, I didn't believe it was it, and I left it. And then a week later, this was in the crate. And I kept hounding the guy, hey, bring that other crate back so I can see if they matched up. And he claims you got rid of it or whatever. But this is this is a grail. I ended up buying the reissue just to hear the music. But on the cover, on my shelves, sits the OG cover. You know.